it's Cape Rugby TV time, and we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Nice to have you along. We've got our special guest back today. I'll introduce you in a second. Of course, big thanks to our partners on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV. Direct Access, your financial services partner. Score Energy Drinks. Yes Electrical. Intercape, they are your bus transport service provider for the Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. And of course, Thorburn Security, all on board with us to help support the clubs as well. All right, coming up tonight, but I'll tell you in a second. Let me introduce you to my panel first. Jerome Parvata, nice to have you back, Meneer.
Yes, JP, good to be back, especially after another great rugby weekend last week. It's always good to kill the Bulls. So.
Oh, Meneer, what a match, what a match. Jonathan van der Veld. Welcome back. First time to see you 2020.
Yeah, JP, lucky to be back. A little bit wiser, a little bit older, a little bit bolder, a little bit grayer. But all good and looking forward to a lekker 2020. Yeah?
Fantastic. We're looking forward to find out what's happening in the Bay. I see you guys very active in your social media, as always, keeping the gears going.
That's it.
All right, well, as I said, we're going to chat with you about the Bay and how things are going. And general talk about what you think is happening in the world of Western Province Rugby. Coming up tonight, folks, we'll take a look at Belleville up against Hopefield. They had a friendly over the weekend. Hopefield, of course, travelled down to play against Belleville. That's quite exciting. We'll speak to Hopefield coach John Carolus, as well as their captain, Angelin Marman. And we'll speak to Belleville's coach, Warren Isaacs, and captain, Emerton Boyson. Both of them no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. And then we'll move across to Goodwood, where we managed to catch up with some of the pre-season training. We spoke to Coach Percy Hendricks, as well as Goodwood's prop Lee van der Linde. And then some of our other usual components. Of course, Western Province juniors played the Bulls at Newlands. So we look at some of those highlights, Jerome. That's your
Not juniors.
Not juniors, but it's your Western Province 15 side.
Yeah, it's club guys, and then we also had a combination with club guys and mixing with professional players. So it was a good day on Saturday.
Excellent. So we're going to have a chat about that, folks, and then we'll also take a look at Hands and Hearts pre-season training. And as we do, we catch up with the DHL Stormers behind the scenes. This week they went to Riebeek-Wes, and we managed to catch some of the their footage over there. Don't forget, of course, we'll do the Super Brew as well. So stay tuned. Let's take a look now at our first friendly highlights as Belleville up against Hopefield. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. Welcome back, folks. Jerome, let's go straight to you. Belleville against Hopefield. Those are your structures there, Belleville. I was going to say it's your family members or your friends, but yes, your opinion. Friendly, still a couple of weeks to go before we get going.
Yeah, it is, and it's glad. I'm glad to see that Hopefield is actually giving Belleville a run for their money, and it's good play by Belleville for the start of the season. We all know Belleville can run the ball and they can play. Still, I think one of the biggest problems are the defense, but they don't worry too much about it. If a team score, they just go score 2 more tries. But I think later in the season it will hurt them, so they need to take that up.
Let's go to you, John. Is that a great strategy? If the other team is winning, you just have to win more.
It's not bad either. Again, rugby is about scoring tries. I just think what is also nice, obviously, to watch is just the interplay and some of the continuity, the skill and the handling, especially for early in Feb. So something which is looking good, and I'm sure Belleville will definitely be knocking on the door this year.
Well, it's the 12th of Feb now, so we're looking at about 6 weeks basically before the start of the season. In terms of season preparation, looking at this, do you think there's anything guys should be focusing on now? I mean, we've been talking about this now for a while about pre-season training, and Jerome's been showing us some of their drills. In fact, we're going to look at some of Jerome's drills tonight. But your feeling in terms of the pre-season prep for clubs?
Look, I think again, the guys are getting some games in now, and obviously game time is important. Not too much game time because you don't want guys to be burnt out.
We've had this discussion before, haven't we?
Yeah, but just enough. You don't want to outplay guys and have them like 4 or 5 warm-ups before they play their league, because the league's quite long and it goes pretty much on until August, September. So just enough game time, rotate the guys, like check combinations and so on and so forth. But I think for Feb, Belleville are looking pretty decent now.
Jerome, Hopefield, I know we spoke a little bit about them last week. Where would you put them in the Western Province structures? Super League A, Super League B? Where would they fit?
They look competitive against Belleville there, so I'd say Super B. They play in the top structure of Poland, but I think Super B is.
Yeah, all right. Well, folks, we managed to catch up with Hopefield's coach, John Carolus, as well as their captain, Angeline Marman. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
Ek dink eerstens wil ek vir Belleville baie dankie sê vir die geleentheid om te kan speel. Ons het al verlede jaar 'n bietjie gedrop. Ek dink ons rugby is nog regtig in 'n afwaartse curve. Verlede jaar het ons laaste in 'n kompetisie, maar ek dink miskien die feit dat ons in 'n lae kompetisie gaan speel, gaan ons miskien 'n bietjie optel.
Ja, ek is redelik happy waar ons op die oomblik is. Op paar ons is nie op die volle sterkte in die baan. Die jong man het vandag hard hand opgesteek vir wat uitgekom het. Ons kyk maar waar ons met onsself. Ons het een gewen laas week, een verloor per dag. So ons sit onsself op om ten minste ons nog klaar een verloor, so 80%. Al die verder gaan vir die 3 wat nog voor lê, wil ons al 3 wen.
Ja, ek is tevrede wat vandag se game. Al wat ek van gesien het is net hoe fair die manne is, ons het fiksheid in dit. Wat is op die fence en daai. Maar ek kon sien die manne is redelik fiks. So ek is nog nie happy wat ek hulle wil hê nie. So soos ons aangaan, sal dit al beter gaan. Jy sien ons gebruik maar hierdie games, die voorseisoense games om die ouens fiks te maak en so aan.
Yeah, it was a tough one. First game is always difficult, The guys trying to get used to each other, trying to implement what the coaches has planned for us. I think we can be happy about the result, but performance-wise, there's a lot of hard work ahead. Yeah, Super League B is always a tough league. We're looking at taking it step by step. This is the first step. We're looking to climb the ladder. Next step, hopefully we can be ready when the league kicks off. And we are an ambitious club. Obviously, looking at last season, the season before, before last, we just missed a promotion relegation playoff. We're looking to go one step further.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. Right, welcome back. back, everybody. You're watching Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And as always, we say please share your posters and your information so we can promote your club events. And then we've said it many times, take your club logo for your sponsors and put it on the poster, and then we know who the sponsors are. We can give them a mention so that your club gets a little bit of extra exposure. One of the posters we saw, although it was not shared on Facebook, and I don't know if the two of you are involved here, but I see Tigerberg at the end of the month, has got a Golden Oldies friendly tournament, like competition. Are you guys playing in that perhaps? Jerome, you're not playing in the Golden Oldies? Jono?
No, I'm not playing.
Okay, I don't know if you can play or not. I'm hoping I've got the date right, but I believe it's on the 28th of February, at the end of the month. So look out for the Golden Oldies and Legends. I think it's the Golden Oldies and Legends, so just bear with me. I might have to make the odd little... I need to get some accuracy on that, but either way, we're going to try and get out there. I think it's going to be great fun. Bring back some of the legends of Western Province Rugby, Western Province Club Rugby, to go and play a bit of rugger there. All right, folks, we of course... you sure, Jerome? Have you played in any of these Legends days before?
No, I stopped way back in Bermuda with the Legends.
Oh, but that's
with
the real
Legends.
South African rugby
Yeah,
legend.
so that was the last sort of rugby I played. I think it was about more than 10 years ago. Yeah.
Jono, you guys do some of these tours though, like
Yes,
Golden Oldies.
I'm actually off to Bangkok at the end of the month to go play in a Bangkok 10s tournament where I'll be playing with over 35, so some of the bullies. And I just played in the Cape Town 10s a few weeks ago as well for over 35. So we still throw the ball around a little bit, but definitely not what some of the youngsters do.
I would never have said that you are over 35. Right, folks, we of course went out to Goodwood. Goodwood's getting ready for their action in Super League B. They ended up number 10 in the league last year, and I'm sure that they're going to be looking to do a little bit better on the log this year. Second year in Super League B. They've got a new coaching staff as well. We'll of course catch up with the new head coach there, Percy Hendricks. But let's first go and see what they are doing with their pre-season training. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. All right, here we go again. Pre-season training. It's another one, Jerome. It's pretty much starting to look the same at every club now. Am I right?
Yeah, it's the same. I don't know if the guys watch TV or what, if they watch Cape TV or they take each other's drills, but it's pretty much the same. And it's sort of the right time to do what all of them are doing now. So, but that's the basics of rugby. You can say what you want. You can next week you can go and watch again. Guys will do the same. And I'm glad that they're doing the basics, but just a combination with the basics and the right technique.
Yeah. John, on your side though, you guys again have been busy with a lot of CrossFit training.
Yeah, so CrossFit, well, we say CrossFit, but it just happens to be obviously the general facility.
Yeah.
But we do very much rugby, we do very much rugby specific movements and so on. So lots of plyometrics, lots of speed work, and then lots of power stuff as well. So it's not like we're just doing CrossFit where we're doing snatches and ring muscle ups and all that type of stuff. It's very much rugby specific, pushing a lot of we push a lot of prowlers around and so on and so forth. So, but it's part of our DNA. We go every single Tuesday and have done so for the last 7 years. We don't do it sometimes, maybe because why? We go every single Tuesday.
Is that enough? Once a week?
Once a week at the general facility off-site instead of being at the field.
Yeah.
We believe that the hour and a half that we get there is almost far better than an hour and a half on the field. So,
All right, okay. So, and you do a full body and then lots of recovery.
Correct.
Yeah.
And again, look, in off season we'll maybe do like maybe 1 or 2 sessions a week. We're in pre-season now, so it's basically 3 sessions a week: a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
If we need to, and we feel like some of the guys will do an extra Saturday session. But as we start getting into Feb and March, we've got to play rugby as well. So we'll start toning it down a little bit and kind of getting the guys' bodies ready for some contact. Yeah.
Right, folks. Goodwood, of course, as you saw, they're busy with their pre-season training, and we managed to catch up there with Goodwood coach Percy Hendricks.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Ja, het kan een beetje meer wees als het van mij afhangt. Maar het hangt niet van mij af. Hier was al 60 ouens in die pre-season geweest. So is het gelukkig, ja. Ik is doodgelukkig met waar die numbers nou is. Ons het so liggies aan geraak en nog heeltemal begin die volgende week as die stasies verby. Dan gaan ons 'n bietjie meer spanverband oefen, bietjie meer kontak. Ons het nou begin besef wie die ouens is wat min of meer first teamers. So ons kan begin kyk aan om in groepe te oefen en in spanne te oefen. Juist vir die friendlies. So ons het 2 weke hê dat ons kan prepare vir die friendlies teen ons oppositie. Ons is 'n jong relatiewe nuwe coaching team wat jonge ouens is wat die jaar die job voorgegee is. Dit is ons eerste jaar. Ons probeer maar om in die league te bly en competitive te wees. Almal wil wen. Die crowd verwag, die mense bestuur almal verwag dat daar moet 'n wenkultuur by die klub wees. Maar vir ons is dit om as jong coaching junior span wat vir die volgende jaar 3 jaar is, wil ons graag net eers die bly in die league en dan probeer om die league te wen.
Definitely, it is looking good, especially this time of the year, because a lot of the guys don't actually want to get out in Feb, they get out in March, but it's really been a good start. The reason why Percy as a coach as this year, which is new, is actually something great for Goodwood as well. As you said, he's been in the club before, he knows the structures, he knows everything about the club, he knows the heart of the club, he knows where the club wants to go and who they envision or what they want to become. And just with having a coach backing us as well and knowing the players, where we want to be and what we want to become, is something good for Goodwood. So let's just hope for a great year with Coach Percy on our side.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Hello, everybody. Right, Goodwood then, Jerome. Let's go to you. Goodwood, amped for the year, but clearly they got quite a few things they have to sort out, and there's a lot of planning behind the scenes at the moment.
Yeah, as the coach was saying, they're a new young coaching team.
Yeah.
They're looking forward to the season, and he said they have sort of a 3-year plan. This year, which is quite good, he just wants to stay in the league and then next year be competitive. So he has a plan, and then he said he's still waiting for guys to come. So I hope the guys will go, the guys who were at Goodwood will go back and go train, because it's almost time to play. So he said he needs the numbers, so hopefully the guys will go and join.
If you're watching the show right now and you're living in the Goodwood area, there you heard it firsthand. Goodwood need the players to pitch up and come train. So get out there and go and join Goodwood. I'm assuming Goodwood Rugby Club, you can find them on Facebook, and of course normal training sessions are Tuesday and Thursday. So Goodwood guys, go and practice. Jono, for a new coach coming into the league, saying he's got 3 years planning strategy, what's your advice for any coach? 2 or 3 bullet points from you.
Jeez. There's many bullet points. Keep it simple, stupid simple. That's always the best one. There is an expectation out there. Kind of know your limits and know the league that's around you. Most of the coaches have been around club rugby for a while, so they're under no false illusions. SLA and SLB is extremely tough. SLB probably tougher just because it's very unpredictable and every week's a fight. But you got to have your wits about you, and you got to be strong-minded and strong-willed. So that's already too many bullet points. So I'll stop right there.
The one though I got to add on, and Jerome will probably also jump in here. The one that you guys seem to have been driving, and I don't know if this is the coach's job or not, is you talk about the gees at the club. Where does that rank in terms of making things work? Surely that must be point number one.
Again, it is point number one, but of course, along with gees must also come hard work. So we must also remember that, one, we're amateurs, it's club rugby, we all have to work, we've got to get up early and go to work, and some of us have families, and then we choose to come down to a rugby field, and we choose to train and put the time and effort in, so you must make it enjoyable for the guys, and then that gees starts to kind of fulfill, and it keeps the guys coming down to training, keeps everybody coming down to matches, and that's what makes club rugby tick at the end of the day, is GWS, some gees.
GWS. Jerome, just closing this off now. One of the things about creating the gees, and for if you don't have the money to pay big clubs, you want to create maybe the culture of play for the coach, play for the jersey. Do you think that still should be a priority?
It should be a priority, JP, but now every rugby player who plays rugby, the most important thing for him is the money. And you already lost it by that. If that's you're not professional, yes, some clubs will give you petrol money or they give you some money or whatever, but if a rugby player goes out there and he say how much you're going to pay me, that's not the guy I want at my club.
Okay, so we all agree that the money thing is a factor right now. But clearly, if you want to get the best out of your player and you want players to arrive and you don't have the money, you've got to, as a coach, be an inspiration.
No, exactly. It's like what Jono is doing, the combination with cross fitness. Some doesn't have that luxury, but there's all sorts of things that you can do. Back in the days, at the club when I played for Belleville, we went Saturdays, we went to go and run at the beach, play cricket, play touch rugby. There's lots of things you can do to keep it interesting, but that solely depends on the coach. And the coach nowadays must understand, he is a mentor, he's everything almost at the club now, so he set the standard and he can't even wait for other board members or somebody to make it happen. If he wants to be successful, he must find out what makes his players tick.
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, again, coaches need to be innovative. They need to come up with things. If you have limited resources and you don't have much, or use your connections and use what you have and use friends, families, whatever, it doesn't matter. Do something different. Don't just go with the norm. But again, it requires some planning, and it requires being innovative and trying to come up with things all the time. Not sometimes. You can't rest. You have to drive it. You have to be relentless, and it's all the time.
Yeah, I love it. So the next time you're on your way, if you're a coach, the next time you're on your way to practice and you're stopping for petrol at the garage, why don't you just grab a bag of briquettes and throw it to the back, and you'll have a fire, even if you don't need to put on the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
All right then, folks, if you don't know this yet, Score Energy Drinks, of course, the official partner to Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. And if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, then now's the time. Just grab your mobile phone. 33090 is the word that you need to SMS. Score. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Nathan Davids. And Nathan, you walk away with a case of Score Energy Drinks, a whole case. So just a reminder, grab your mobile phone, SMS the word SCORE to 33090. 33090, you put yourself in a mix to win a case of Score Energy Drinks. And when we come back from the break, we'll be catching up with Hands and Hearts and their pre-season training. They, of course, had their Sevens rugby tournament last weekend, and Hands and Hearts walked away as champions there. But now we go behind the scenes and see if their pre-season training is probably pretty much the same as everyone else, but we'll see. welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you along. Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If you miss it here, don't forget you can catch it again on Saturday morning from 9 to 10. All the highlights of what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby, and we try and keep you up to date with what our clubs are doing, and Western Province Rugby, of course, behind the scenes as well. This week we went out, we've been going out, in fact, to a number of the clubs and their pre-season activities, and this week we went out to Hands and Hearts.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
Welcome back, folks. Right, Hands and Hearts there. The Rainbow Boys in action with their pre-season training. Jerome, pretty much the same kind of drills again that we saw there, but one of the things that I noticed is that it looks like they've got nice equipment there. Some tackle bags, the big round ones, and as well as the body shields. For the pre-season training, what would you say are the kind of equipment that you might need?
Yeah, look, if you have obviously if you have tackle bags and you have contact shields and you have body armors, that's the basic that you can use now to build your guys up to get used to the contact without bodies on bodies.
Yeah. Tackle bags, of course, the big round one. The big round one that stands up straight, and the body shield's the one you hold up.
The shield is what you hold up, and body armor is like just a suit. If you have that to put on, if you go like take the shields away and go full on contact, then you can have that. But yeah, they have that, and I also glad to see that they have a new scrum machine also, and they're starting with the building up on the scrum machine with the three only the front rows or getting the right technique in the scrum machine is also important to start with that now for the next in the right body position.
John, on your side, any equipment that you would add in there in addition to what Jerome said?
All the same. Poles, cones, balls, and a few hit shields and tackle bags and body armor as well, all pretty much the same. We maybe use a few bands for some resistance training. And maybe a few weights and sleds, if you have, but otherwise tires, whatever the case. If you have A-frames, tires, push a car around the field, doesn't matter, as long as the guys are doing work, because that's what it takes in the beginning of the year, just to get the bodies ready. A lot of people underestimate it, so a lot of guys who like to miss the Jan and Feb and come in March, don't be surprised when they're injured in April and then they're gone, and also don't be surprised that when teams are hitting their straps in April, May, why they're doing it's because they started very early in the year.
That pre-season conditioning, we were talking about it last year already, that if you weren't getting into it then, you've got to build that base. Yeah. Well, we're going to see where all that goes. Hopefully the teams, but we did see a lot of teams actually get ready with their pre-season training and conditioning. It's just whether or not the players all arrived for that, but we'll know soon enough, and we'll see what happens in the leagues this year. It's going to be quite important to see whether or not the clubs are sustainable and to get through the leagues. Right, Hands on Hearts, of course, in Super League B, ended third in Super League C last year, so now they go up to Super League B. They beat Young Peoples in the promotion relegation match last year at City Park, so not too bad. About 60, 70 players at the training session, so well done, guys. Great stuff there. We managed to catch up with Hands on Hearts coach Peter Links.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Ja, definitief. Ons getalle neem toe, nader aan die eerste vriendskaplike wedstryd. Ons speel die 22 ons eerste vriendskaplike wedstryd. En verbasend, hier's vanaand is die meer as amper 4 spanne ingesluit onder 20, so dit is goed. Dit laat jou goed voel dat soveel manne al teenwoordig is. Ons het al vroeg begin die eerste week in Januarie. En ons het begin met oor die 40 ouens en verlede week was ons oor die 70, so dit lyk goed, dit is goed vir die klub. Ja, soos ek sê, Superliga B is 'n moeilike liga, ons weet oor die jare. So die ouens weet wat vir hulle wag. So dis net commitment en ons bly om te sien dat ons senior spelers is lank terug op die oefenveld en die ouens werk hard. Ons was al sessie op die strand gewees, lekker sessie gehad. En die veld is vol Dinsdag en Donderdag en dis goed. Dis goed om te sien dat die spelers is committed. Hulle wil hier wees en dis vir my belangrik dat die regte houding is daar. Ons het verlede week het ons vir Edwin George gehad, vanaand het ons vir Nathan Berry wat ons ook help in die tegniese aspek. Hy hanteer ook ons speel vanaand Tsakkers, hy hanteer ook ons Tsakkers. So wat hy ook doen is wanneer hy straf of wanneer hy blaas, dan kry hy ons bymekaar en hy verduidelik vir hulle. So ek dink dis net goed en daar is 'n hele paar reëls wat verander het. So dis hoekom hy is volgende week en Dinsdag gaan ons weer selfe sessie hê waar hy die ouetjies vat deur die nuwe reëls tegnies. So dis is goed as Nathan is 'n ervare referee en ons is bly om vir hom 'n persoon in sy kaliber by die klub te hê en te help met daai aspek.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Peter Links, head coach there at Hands on Hearts. Jerome, he's been instrumental at Hands on Hearts, knows the players well, knows the community well. Sounds like he's ready for Super League B.
Yeah, he was away for a year or two, I think, and it's good that he's back since last year. I think he's back, and he knows all the players there, and he knows the community, and also an experienced coach involved with schools rugby for a long time, also coaching. So yeah, it's a good coach, and also one good thing that they are doing now, which last week we had this referees and coaches forum meeting. And we encourage the coaches to bring referees in and to come and help them with certain technical aspects, as the breakdown or offside lines, whatever, to come and ref. And he said that they use Nathan Berry, which is good. So the clubs are using. We were
talking about that, yeah. We were talking about that last week about bringing Western Province Rugby refs in. Jono, are you at Valsbay? You guys bringing some referees in?
Correct. Every weekend or so we'll have a session. We'll have a live scrum session or we'll have a full contact session, and the referees will be there, and just to make sure that our general offside lines are kind of correct, and make sure that we're not doing anything illegal.
All right, knowing all the tricks. The referees know the tricks, don't they? Like the way to play the game. If you know the game best, well, I think when we talk about the tricks, if you know the rules of the game, you know how to win the game. I mean, it's pretty simple. So if you know which rules are the best rules to get the points, then you stick to those rules and you get the points. And maybe I'm explaining it more simplistic, but anyway.
As a coach, you're supposed to know the rules, and also to coach in the rules, because you're going to get caught out if you try to do something funny. I see at Super Rugby, guys are trying, and you can ask Jono last week, one of the biggest discussion points was in lineouts, where guys try to steal or guys try to sack early, and coaches do that, but it's not within the law.
Yeah.
So the refs are also sharpening up, and they also look at that, so you're not going to get away if you don't work within the book.
All right, well, there you have it. As Coach Jerome says, work within the book. All right. Work within the book. All right, Alistair Frasenberg, 8th man at Hands on Hearts, and he's also been there for a while, and he's also been instrumental in the leadership at Hands on Hearts for a very long time. We've had him on the channel a few times. Always great to chat with Alistair, and we're going to chat with him now. We're going to catch up with him because he was at the side of the field. And when we come back from that, we'll take a look at some of the friendly fixtures that are on the cards for this weekend. We'll also take a look at some of the Western Province 15s behind-the-scenes training. We managed to do a bit of a drill there with the guys, And then, of course, don't forget Stormers, DHL, behind the scenes, coming up soon.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Het is een goede ding om al die ouens weer van laas jaar terug te hê. Ons het 'n paar nuwe spelers wat ek dink ons al die span kan bietjie versterk. En met dit sal ons 'n goeie seisoen hê vorentoe. Ja, het is altyd 'n goeie ding om sulke tipe jong spelers te hê in die klub. Ek dink as ons wil bou op die toekoms, dan is dit 'n goeie ding vir ons om jonge 20 laities bietjie deur te bring. Ja, ek dink mense sien altyd uit na jou eerste friendly. Dis die eerste game vir die jaar. En ek dink ons sal deurkom. En ek dink die ouens wat ons nou met speel ons al die afgelope 2 jaar. So ons sal dit maar game vir game vat. Ja, die boys is reg. Ek dink as die gee is reg is en die numbers is daar van die players, dan sal ons 'n goeie seisoen hê. Ja, ons sal reg wees vir 2020. Daar is nog 'n paar manne wat moet kom. Die diepte is daar. Goeie backs, forwards is daar. So ek sien ook self uit na die 2020 seisoen wat voor lê.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Welcome back, everybody. It's nice to have you along. We are 6 weeks away from the Western Province Club Rugby season. Jono, are you guys feeling amped, False Bay? Are you guys on fire for the season? Are you ready to go?
We're keen to get 2020 underway. I think like all players, we just want to play rugby. If we could just play rugby every Saturday and not have to train, that's what rugby players would love to do. But unfortunately, we have to prepare the bodies and the minds and all that goes with it. But I must say, numbers-wise, depth, excitement, spectators, people, rugby communities, Western Cape, and I'm sure the country, especially after a World Cup win, Super Rugby teams are undergo, Varsity Cup is undergo, so club rugby is just keen and frothing to get going. Yeah?
Okay, let's cut to the chase. Is False Bay going to win Super League A this year?
It's a long season, JP. The Curry Cup, as they say, the Curry Cup wasn't won in March. And SRA certainly isn't one in February, March.
Who are the big guys that one has to topple in Super League A this year?
Of course, we want to always knock over Marties.
Yeah.
Because it's likely to put one over the Maroon guys. And then of course Durban at the top of the pile at the moment.
Yeah, the current Super League A champions.
So let's hopefully we can take out a couple of big guys as well.
Yeah. All right, folks, talking about the club guys, a lot of the club guys have now made it into the Western Province Rugby 15. We managed to catch up with them, some of them at the High Performance Centre.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV, right. So, Jerome, high performance training there. These are your club guys. They were, of course, just finished playing against the Boerland side. Yeah. I made a mistake earlier and I said they're playing against the Bulls, but that was, of course, you guys were playing the curtain raiser there against the Bulls. Just, before we look at that footage, let's just talk a little bit about the training here. A number of different drills there, and we're going to, next week, take some of that footage and also start including some of your drills. What specifically in this footage is it there that you were trying to do with the guys?
The one drill that you were seeing there with the guys holding the shields there was a breakdown drill. Just getting out of the guys about this double roll because you're going to get penalized. So the focus was working forward into the shield, get onto the ball, buy some time and then place the ball. Don't roll because it's the laws change, so you're not allowed to do that.
You're not
so
allowed
the focus
to do the
point
power
was,
roll anymore.
Yeah, so the focus point was on that. And also, if you buy time by lying on the ball a bit, because the guy is coming to steal the ball now, he first need to release, like they call the chicken wing. He first need to open up, and then he can have another bite at the ball. So by that time, you can place the ball. So it's mainly to keep the ball underneath the body and then to place it.
All right. I think we got it there, right, folks? We'll take a look at some more of those drills next week. Let's go now to DHL Western Province up against Boerland.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
DHL Western Province, 15 up against Boerland. Jerome, are you happy with the performance?
Yeah, JP, what we did now from the beginning of, after the sort of the varsity day that we played, we just let the guys play, they have a feeling about the game, but we were working a lot on the structures and how we actually want the guys to play. So, Jono, you as a coach, I said to the guys, if I watch like Monday evening, we show them the video, I want to see sort of a pattern in how we play, who go clean where and whatever. We're not just going to run everywhere, so whatever. So I was happy with the performance, first of all, and the way we played, and they stuck to sort of the patterns that we want to play. So because a lot of the time the guys are just playing and there's no support runners, there's nothing, and we encourage the offloads and stuff which we see there. And also these guys were banned from kicking. We didn't kick again.
John, I don't know if you watched it, what I'm referring to. is when Jerome did the chuckers against the Stormers at the varsity day at Tygerberg. He said to the guys, "We're practicing now, no kicking."
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of either. Remember, we play club rugby and we're not up in the professional ranks, but I just believe that if you're under pressure, as in on your try line, then it's best then to relieve pressure to kick.
Yeah.
But other than that, you must let the ball do the work.
But a nice way to practice, though, if you want to practice your drills. You looking at the footage now that you see of the guys here at Newlands, your feeling? Do you think Jerome is getting it right?
Yeah, of course. Look, you must remember that all these players are coming from different clubs.
Yeah.
And they got their own structures where they're coming from, and now they're coming down in the evening, and now they've got a different coach, and they've got to buy into some other structures. So one, it takes a certain player and obviously intellect to be able to slot into those structures as well. And like Jerome says, you know, they let them play early on, but you can't just let everyone run around like headless chickens, because no one will be cleaning, everyone will be wanting to carry, and no one will get into any kind of structure. And the spectacle in rugby just won't do it justice. So you have to get into so you have to get into some sort of a system, and it is nice that you know the small things you work on, that when you put it into practice and you can see it in a game that unfolds, and that's the relationship between the coach and his players, and that's how the personality of the coach comes through on the field once you see it on a Saturday.
Yeah. Jerome, I think you've done a fantastic job. Really, I must say, from a Western Province rugby point of view, to see so many of our club rugby players playing in a Western Province rugby jersey and playing at Newlands against Boland in a curtain raiser. And we've been talking about this now for the last year or even longer. So just from a Cape Rugby perspective, well done. Really doing a great job. It's I think that it's leaps and bounds of forward movement for Western Province Rugby.
Yeah, thanks for that, JP.
You don't have to.
And I'm actually glad that Jono, as he was looking, he said, "Yo, he hardly knows these guys," because in the past you would see the same old faces, and what we've done now, I mean, that guys basically didn't come out of their own. I mean, the club send the guys, and I'm glad that they sort of send the younger guys who's been there for 3 years and not really making it. So we don't want to see that faces always. So, but now the guys that we have now is younger guys, and it's and
they've got a future.
They've got a future, and also for us, even if they don't make the Supersport Challenge team, they will be better players going to the clubs.
Or maybe somewhere else. Maybe they get picked on an international contract. You go play for Toulouse or Stade de France or Saracens,
you never know.
Or somewhere. Orlando Pirates. All right, folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll wrap it up with the DHL Stormers and their practice session at Rugby Castile.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
No, it was a difficult game, but I'm happy we pulled off with the win. It does give us a confidence booster for this weekend against the Lions, and to come 2 out of 2 in the beginning of Super Rugby is really nice. And now from here we can just build up for the rest of the campaign. Yeah, because damn it, Rugby Castile is very far from Cape Town, so to expect the parents to drive all the way to see us maybe for 2 minutes after the game, compared to this is something they will remember forever. This is amazing, and I must say I'm glad that Dobber arranged this so that we can come and train here, because now we can make the little kids because they look up to us, and we're just there for them just to motivate them to keep on doing sports or whatever they want to do. So it's a really nice thing that we can come out here and just see their smiles on their faces. If we just do everything right here on the pitch, I think this weekend will be a very good game. They have a very unpredictable side, so it's going to be a difficult game, but it's going to be a good old derby again. I just hope the people do pitch up. But we're playing 3 o'clock there at the Emirates Airline Park. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to be a nice game to play. So by winning the other 2 games, it actually just helps us to show us what we need to work on, what we need to improve on, because there's still a lot of things that can improve. But it's only the 3rd week of Super Rugby, so that it was a big morale booster for us. So we're just focusing on just carrying on and not being complacent, just keep on trying to win the whole time. So that's just going to help for the rest of the season.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
DHL Stormers going up up to the west coast there, Riebeek West, Riebeek Kasteel. Jerome, nice little outing for the guys. Nice to get out of the usual comfort zone, I suppose.
Yeah, what they say they want to do is to go and train there because it's very hot. I think yesterday was 38 degrees there, and it's going to be hot in Joburg over the weekend. So it's just so that the guys can sort of acclimatize. It's not the same. The altitude will still get you, but at least it was hot. So they just want to have a run and yeah.
Yeah. Jono, Stormers doing pretty well at the moment. They've won 2 in a row with no points conceded. Dobson must be happy.
All positive vibes for now, but we know this Super Rugby competition is also long, so it's not always necessarily how you start, but it's how you finish. And like all competitions, when you get to the playoffs, you need to make sure that either you have that home ground advantage, and if you don't, come then you want no injuries, and you want your best team on the front foot. So good start, we can't complain, and all the best to Stormers and Dobbo and his team, and clearly all their hard work seems to be paying off.
No, well, I think we're off, like you say, it's off to a good start. What more could we want? Yeah. DHL Stormers then 2 in a row and no points against them so far. I think that's probably the only team possibly the only team in the whole Super League structure that has got those sort of statistics. So congratulations to Dobbo and the guys. They are starting to make us proud, are making us proud, have made us proud. And remember, so go out to Newlands and support the guys. It's your last chance to be at the Western Province Rugby old old fields, so to speak, Newlands. I believe it's still the oldest rugby stadium in the world. So get your tickets and go and watch the Stormers, the DHL Stormers. Jerome Parvater, thank you for joining me. Your plans for the weekend?
Plans for the weekend, I'll go watch some friendly games over the weekend. Yep. We don't play this week, we play next week again with the club guys. So yeah, so wherever there's a friendly game on Saturday, I'll be there.
Fantastic. Jonathan Avalt, your rugby plans for the weekend?
We got a busy weekend. Friday night, we got Friday Night Lights. We got a quadrangular between False Bay, Villages, UCT and Stellenbosch.
Tell us quickly, Friday Night Lights, what's that mean?
So what we try to do is...
Is that the quadrangular?
Correct, yes. Okay. So what we're just trying to do is in the month of February, just to bring people down to our club. Yep. So we host obviously an event which brings people in, which is good money for the club, as well as people get to see some rugby in Feb, which is nice because normally they just have warm-ups and then the league in April, but people like rugby all the time, and what a good excuse to come down to your club and maybe watch some Super Rugby that happens on the Saturday. So
and this Friday you got who's in action with you?
This Friday we play UCT.
Yep.
Villages play Stellenbosch in the Curtain Raiser, which is 7 to 8, and then we'll play from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Friday night at False Bay should be quite lekker. And then, of course, Saturday we've got the Community Tens tournament that's happening. Yeah. And we've got 25 guys that are out and keen, and let's hope for a good tournament out there as well.
That's also at City Park this weekend, folks. The Community Tens. Make sure you get down there, support Western Province Rugby. Community action, 16 teams in action. It's going to be very exciting. Definitely the place to be this weekend, City Park. Jerome, thank you very much. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
It's a pleasure. We'll definitely be here.
Lekker. Jono, great seeing you. Nice to have you back. And congratulations on dadship.
That's it. 3 months old and alive and kicking, eh?
Yeah, no, that's well done. Well done. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us here at Cape Rugby TV. Remember, find us on Facebook and share your rugby posters. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.